Hi everybody, it's been a very long time and with a very good reason, and it isn't as if I've forgotten you or have started my life again and gotten things back to order. Not at all. I'm still doing the same thing, collecting cans and bottles in the streets to survive and living through my recovery, which I believe now is over. But the reason why it's been a long time since I've recorded um, are many. One of them is that I was dealing with my narcissists psychologically, knowing they would see weakness in me if they knew my situation, and they would try to have me committed or arrested or abducted or murdered or flying monkeyed. So I laid low because I thought they may have my channel, and I was undergoing or undertaking research. So I let them know in a furious phone call. I laid into them onto their voicemail once or twice. I did that twice actually. I haven't spoken to them. Haven't spoken to anyone in my family. But when I laced into them on the phone in the middle of last winter when I was really in dire straits and a lot of pain because I hurt my back and my ankle. I was actually walking on an upper ankle sprain for weeks. I didn't know. Well, I let them know that I was out of the country semi-permanently, and by doing that, I was able to get them to lower their guard, and allowed me to lower my guard. And in doing so, ladies and gentlemen, I discovered the truth, and the truth is a lot worse than I had thought up to the last video I recorded about 5 or 6 months ago. When I thought everything was done, I thought that my parents had scapegoated me over my father's business deals. I had come to terms with my ex-psychopath girlfriend that she was, a one-percenter, a mafioso, and that she had used me. I was right about her to the nth degree because I'd been following her as well in the media through her contacts and associates and all the criminal trials, and really my life was extremely close to being snuffed out, I do believe. If not for the community, I would have gone back to her, and at that point, as I found out later on, she'd actually served more time because of me, because I went no contact, thanks to everyone, and at that time she still thought she had me as her alibi, so was telling her parole officer that I was still her boyfriend. And I guess at some point she couldn't reach me, and she had to just admit it that I hadn't been in her life for a while. Well, and she served, I don't know how much, I don't know what her punishment was. I feel bad about it because I don't harbor any ill feelings against her compared to the narcissists that raised me, the psychopaths. They're psychopaths. So I came back last time and I thought I was basically recovered. I felt strong. And just after a few videos that very same day, I started to think about things again and put more information together. And then I got the whammy. I mean, the big. Really, I had another few months of trauma, and I've recovered much quicker than the first one because I've dealt with so much. But this really is something that defines my entire life. Every little problem, everything that my father and mother had ever said to me was coded in this reality. In fact, my entire family was a fabrication. My brother was not as innocent as I thought. May his soul rest in peace, because I do miss the son of a bitch, all the time. But he knew things, and he kept them from me for a good reason. In some ways, I understand, and I'm a lot more empathetic towards my narcissist. But the truth truly is stranger than anything I could have conceived up to the last video. So I spent a year and a half in recovery, not recovering from the actual truth. And I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that my mother and my father were actually more psychopathic than my ex-girlfriend, and that my ex-girlfriend's multi-aliased, multi-layered, infinite lying self was actually more earnest and more, I have to say, honest than my own parents. She had a more solid core. They were complete psychopaths. And the reason why my extended family has abandoned me is because they knew my parents were psychopaths. And I imagine they were just happy that my brother and I turned out as we did, which was well enough. How? I'll explain. I'll explain the next video. You know, I've been dying to come online and tell you guys this, but every time I've recorded a video, I've had doubts, and I've thought, well, maybe now is not the right time. But let me just tell you one little quick anecdote that happened before I stop this video, and I'll tell you my story, the full story, the next video. And over many videos to come after that, I'll explain to you how I reached that conclusion, my thought process, the investigation, and really I have a lot to thank my ex-girlfriend and the community, because she was easier to find out about because nobody was really protecting her. Like, everyone was protecting me from the truth about my parents. And secondly, I was closer to her at the end of the day. I only knew her 7-8 months as a relationship, but you know, I slept with her every day, every night. Was with her 24 hours, 20 hours a day. The 20 hours when she wasn't running around being a criminal. I didn't know. I thought she was sleeping. You know, who knew that my psychopathic parents didn't sleep? Just like I didn't know my ex-girlfriend was not sleeping. I figured she's with me 20 hours. I'll leave at 12 or 1, and I'll see her at 8 in the morning. Well, no, she was running out. She was staying up all night, multiple days in a row. And my parents the same. And my parents, my entire life has been molded by this monstrosity of a truth. It's horrendous, ladies and gentlemen. It's basically as bad as I could have ever imagined. And it might even be worse than I know. I will do more research, but I had to come clean and come out now. And that brings me to the anecdote. When I came home from my brother's funeral, I walked into my apartment. It was the next day. I think I slept at my parents that night. At the time, I had no idea I was in a narcissistic family. I thought we were a happy family of 4, very close. Yes, we argued and fought a lot amongst us, but it seemed to be about petty things. And my brother and I just assumed my parents were crazy to some degree. And when my brother died, my world shattered. I didn't know it at the time, but I developed PTSD immediately. Slept at my parents' house after the funeral. When I came home, I saw this giant, what looked like a beetle crossed with a fly, some kind of strange insect I hadn't seen before. And it was large. And immediately when I looked down at it, I noticed it was, first, I'd never seen any insects in my apartment, so it was kind of strange, and it was so large. And it was obviously in trouble. It was kind of staggering. It didn't look healthy, and I go down, I crouched down to look at it. And at this point, I'm overcome with sadness and grief, and I see that it's dying. And I'm thinking, oh no, I think I just buried my brother, please. And I'm begging this thing. I pick it up in my hands, and I'm looking at this creature, and I'm looking at it really closely in the face, and I'm playing, please don't die, please pull through. through. And I'm blowing on it, and I'm blowing, and he doesn't look at anything happening, and sure enough, right in my hand, he dies. And I put him on my bathtub. And many times since that moment, I felt that my brothers was sending me communication through insects, strangely enough. Now maybe that's what's called ideas of reference, the symptom of PTSD. So it might just be a coincidence that I can see as a reality, as a spiritual level of truth. But what happened today, I'm taking a bath in my new apartment. Well, it's the apartment I've had for about a year. And I'm in the hot water, and I see a cockroach. And I just started to see them at the end of the summer. I haven't seen them before, but I guess I probably brought something in, some kind of furniture that had something on it. I'll get rid of them. But I love cockroaches. I think they're adorable. If I could keep them at a certain level, I would keep them. They seem intelligent. They seem very conscious, and I think they're. I mean, I would kiss one if I could. So today I see a cockroach, and he's walking on the wall as I'm lying in the hot bath, and the water is still running, and like filling the bathtub, and it's hot. And I'm watching it, and I'm talking to him, and he's a chunky one. He's big. And all of a sudden, the guy falls right into the water, and I'm thinking, oh no. I love this guy. He was already my best friend, so I'm looking in the water, and I find him, and I'm trying to catch him, but I can't because of the current. He keeps falling out of where I'm trying to grab the water, and after about 30 seconds, I pick him up, and he's dead. I mean, he's shriveled up, he's crunched. I put him on the side of the bathtub, and I just watch him for about 2 minutes, and there's nothing. And I'm thinking, can I give this cockroach mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? I'm thinking, well, I'll just blow on him. Maybe the water will blow away from his little organs, and it'll clear, and maybe the oxygen will get to him. So I start blowing, and I try for 20, 30 seconds. I go, this is ridiculous. What should I do with it? I just leave him there. I lie in the bathtub for about 2, 3, 4 minutes, and actually forget about him. And when I get up, I see that he's actually kind of staggering up. And I think, oh my God, he's not dead. And I remember that insect from the first day after my brother, and I think, please, please pull through. I go, come on. And I start blowing on him and again. And he's not doing anything. He's just standing there. And I think, my God, if he comes back, I'll record the video and I'll come back online. I'll start telling my story. And then all of a sudden, ladies and gentlemen, that little cockroach, he just skedaddled away like he was good as new. And I swear to God, that was the happiest that one cockroach has ever made a human being in the history of humanity. So here I am because of that cockroach. And I'm going to tell you the story because I really can't believe it myself. I mean, everything I knew was false. Oh, I'll record it very soon, I promise. I hope everyone's holding tight. To all those who have discovered that your mother, father, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, sister, brother, neighbor were psychopaths, narcissists, and played with your reality, gaslighted you, and just brought you up in a world that didn't truly exist. Well, I really feel for you. Hang in there. It has been exactly, I shouldn't say exactly, but within a few months, 2 years, that I started to go no contact. My narcissist came after me for about a year, tried to have me committed, sent me every flying monkey from the family, had my best friend at the time, who I cut off after 45 years of being a friend, 44. Sent him after me with a ruse for a fake business. So he played me for 10 months before I figured it out. It's been really rough, but I feel much stronger. It's true what everyone says, you can recover and become a much better person and a much stronger person. I'll see you soon.